Jordan Bates, Kinesiology graduate from 2016. I decided to apply to the University of Guelph-Humber because the balance between time spent in the classroom and time spent practicing your skills in the real world. I was first drawn to the university because of the amount of placement hours that you got to complete. And then once I was on campus for my program preview day, I got to learn a little bit more about what those experiences might entail, but also learn about the different labs that I'd be completing as well. So once I got to walk around the campus, see the labs that I'd be using for my time at the university, I was sold. So my favorite class during my time at the University of Guelph-Humber had to be exercise physiology. This was the first time that everything I learned up to that point started coming together. It was like all the pieces of the puzzle started coming into place, and now you could see the full picture for what it was. My favorite lab while I was at the university was doing a Wingate trial. So here, a Wingate trial is essentially a power test to see how much power you can turn out with your lower body over 30 seconds while using a cycle ergometer or a stationary bike. So here it was great to actually gather some data about a subject that I knew myself, and then use that data to complete a lab report as well. I also got to build up a little bit of a sweat at the same time. During my time at the University of Guelph-Humber, I was fortunate enough to be able to complete a study abroad course to New Zealand. Here we looked at how sport compares to New Zealand's culture versus how it compares to our culture here in Canada. So specifically, I wrote a report comparing how rugby is ingrained in New Zealand culture versus how hockey is ingrained in our culture here in Canada. We got to spend a lot of time at Auckland University of Technology. Here they have a lot of high-performance testing equipment for their high-performing athletes, along with their Olympic athletes as well. So we got to try out some of this great equipment. We also spent some time bumping shoulders with the Samoan national rugby team who happened to be there at the same time as us. So there is that academic component to the study abroad course, but we also got to spend some time being tourists in the area and getting really, having a deep dive into the culture that New Zealand can offer to you. So specifically, we went whitewater rafting. We actually went down the tallest waterfall that you can whitewater raft down in the world. We spent some time blackwater rafting in little dinghies through pitch black caves, which was a lot of fun. We also spent a lot of time hiking and mountain biking through beautiful, picturesque forests as well. In my fourth year, I wrote my thesis on rewarm-up techniques in high-performance sport. So we all know that warming up prior to physical activity will help keep you healthy and help you keep performing at your best. But we also need to consider sports like soccer or rugby that have a halftime. You can actually start cooling down during this halftime and not perform at your best when you come out for the second half. So I wanted to research how we can combat this and get our athletes ready to go for the second half. So I completed both my placements with Humber College's High Performance Center. This is where they train all of their varsity athletes. So I was in the thick of it, helping them get bigger, stronger, faster, helping them do whatever they do better on the field or court or wherever they play their sport. So specifically, I was an intern strength and conditioning coach. What this means is I spent a lot of time working with their court sports, so basketball and volleyball, directly working with the athletes. I also got to write programs and implement them with the golf team and the baseball team as well. So this was an amazing opportunity for me to take the skills that I learned in the classroom and shadowing the professionals during my placement and actually practice them myself. So see what works with an athlete, see how different exercises in the weight room can translate to improved performance on the court or on the field. While I was at the University of Guelph-Humber, I was fortunate enough to be co-chair of the Canadian Obesity Network student and new professional chapter that we had at the university. So during my time with the Canadian Obesity Network, we spent some time running lunch and learns, then also roundtable discussions where we actually had professionals and leading researchers in the field come in and speak to students about the research that they were conducting and how we can get this information out to people regarding obesity in Canada. Currently, I'm pursuing my Bachelor's of Education. My plan is to use the skills that I learned at the University of Guelph-Humber and help people live healthier lives, help them develop skills that they can take with them from the time that I work with them and keep with it for their entire life thereafter. So the experiences that I had at the University of Guelph-Humber exposed to me that I have a passion for helping people live their best life. Pair that with the skills that I learned at the University of Guelph-Humber through the in-class time and all the amazing labs and practical experiences that you'll get to have at the university. And now I feel prepared to pursue a career helping people live their healthiest lives.